enough you're not sticking around too long. I apologize. I'll try to get off here, then move where you guys can get on with your day. But I appreciate you being here to start our camp. And again, I'm thankful for the coverage that our program has, our student athletes and our organization, and obviously our athletic department. So thank you for that. A lot of times you guys get to tell the story that a number of folks don't get to see every day. And I sure appreciate that opportunity for the coverage that you give our student athletes and our program. Practice decisions on the structure, on what goes into that. You know, we're set with rules on counting back from your first contest on when you can start, how many days you can go before you have a non-practice day, how many helmet days, how many padded days. So a lot of thought and conversation with our staff on building that the right way. You'd like to just wipe a calendar clean and say, well, this is what we did last year at this place and it worked great. But I've been in it long enough. Every team's different on how you build those practice structures. So the way that we have it set currently is what we feel like will be best for this team and what we need to develop the depth and what we need to get as good as we can get between now and when we play Bryant on September 2nd. So will we adjust as we go? Absolutely. But we've got really a foundational approach on how we feel that we need to practice, from the number of reps in special teams, the number of one-on-one reps on the perimeter, offense, defensive line, 7-on-7 combo drills, perimeter drills, inside run, 11-on-11, whether it's normal down, situational ball, 2-minute situations. All those things are scripted about what we will look like over the next 28, 29 days. So today was the start of that. I thought that, I think number one, I think Jeff Fish and his staff in strength and conditioning have done a tremendous job on changing the physical makeup of our roster. And I told the team last night in our administrative meeting, and then again after practice, we look like a much better football team physically. Our movement patterns are in and out of breaks, a change of direction, speed, linear speed, and side to side. We look like a better football team. So the work that our kids have done since we left spring practice until now, a lot of credit to our team, to our student athletes, and then Jeff and his staff on putting the plan together for the summer practice. And I'm excited about the group of coaches that we have, because it's pretty clear to me that they're good teachers on watching the way we're able to function and go from drill to drill in today's practice. There's always going to be busts or breakdowns that happens in the game, but you want to minimize those and try to eliminate mental errors. And that's where we've got to be great teachers in the classroom. And then we've got to be able to get them to retain that information and then go play at max speed. So that will be the biggest goal and challenge for us, is taking what we did today. We'll have meetings and some different things this evening. And then we'll come back tomorrow, same time, similar practice schedule with a few changes, but we'll try to make sure that we don't make the same mistakes tomorrow that we made today. And if you do that and you're consistent with it, then you ultimately become the best football team you can be. And that's our challenge. We've got to be the best who we are. We're not adding guys to the roster at this point. This is our group, and this is our team, and I'm dang excited to be their head coach. It looked comfortable to me. I heard him verbalizing a lot of things to receivers, the offensive line, and the running backs on some things that if there was an error, what they need to do differently, and maybe the look they were getting defensively. I didn't see that in the spring. So the growth from there to today has, I think, been exceptional. That means he's put in a lot of time. But the structure of our practice, it is set up that we're using every inch of the field that we can and then getting as many reps as we can, everybody in the program. Because the only way, in my opinion, that you can get 1 million mental reps, but as soon as you start getting those physical reps, that's the only way we're going to improve our program to where it needs to be. So we've got it structured where we're two-spotting everything, and that means there's a practice going on one side of the field and a whole nother practice going on the other side. And that will elevate our program, in my opinion, a lot quicker than doing it otherwise.
Make these guys feel like they're having success every day.
I should know that exact number, and I don't want to say a number because I know I'm going to be wrong, but I'll have it for you tomorrow on the number of guys that have joined our program. You said after spring practice? Yeah, I need to get exact what that number is. I think you look around in college sports, there's always going to be a roster turnover. I would prefer to keep the group that we have and have them year one, develop into year two, year three, and ultimately have a kid. If they don't get drafted after year three, then you've got them in the program for 4 years, and then some cases possibly 5. I met with the freshmen last night, just individually, the true freshmen, and I went through a number of things of the feelings they're going to have as freshmen, but also I told them we take the age off of your name on the depth chart at this point. It's our job to get them ready to go play winning football. So I don't All-American, all-conference, fifth-year senior, first-year freshman. It's our job to get as many guys as we can ready to go play. So I think you've got to be very deliberate about the relationship component of continuing to recruit your team, because we've got 110 guys. We need every single one of them to develop. We need every single one of them to understand what their role is, and then try to make them and give them a student athlete experience that they don't want to go anywhere else, that this is everything that they want to achieve. We're going to get done here, and we make it an atmosphere that makes it really hard for somebody to want to go somewhere else. Yeah, I think he's got leadership skills. He's played snaps, understands some of the things schematically we're doing on defense, as do all the guys other than some of the new freshmen at this point, because we had the spring practice. So, but I think maybe some calmness in the room on setting the standard, but also making sure that he outworks and he's not just talking about it all the time. He's showing by action and verbally what a great leader needs to look like. And we've got a lot of leaders on the team. He's one. Jono just walked in. He's another one of our great leaders. And we're relying on, again, we need locker room leadership, and needs to be done the right way, and that will carry us. We'll have adversity. That will carry us a great deal of opportunity. Working through that adversity will be because of our leadership and the core group in our locker room.
At least today, on the offensive line with Jalen St. John going out to left tackle, and then at left guard, it's a newer player, 78, who's playing left guard. So yeah. Where's the offensive line now? Because that's kind of a big change from Miller playing left tackle in the spring.
Yeah, tomorrow we'll probably be back the other way. We're trying to see who the best 5 are and what spots they can play. So, we've talked a couple times about this on you and I, just the ability to cross-train those guys, because we need to establish who our 5 are. Okay, and then the next biggest obstacle for me is, okay, who is the next best center? Because if your top center goes down and you can't function because you don't have anybody else to snap the ball. So we'll rotate a number of guys in there on what that looks like. I think St. John, you look at the work that he has done, changing his body in a good way, the efficiency that he can move, the quickness. I think he can play all 5 spots, and that's such a huge advantage for him and obviously for us. And he'll get some center snaps. He'll get guard. We'll move Marcus back out to the tackle spots. And also with Marcus, he's a veteran. He understands I think he can play for the 5 spots as well.
Jackson Turner was one of the guys who's a high-profile transfer and a lot of starting experience. So where is he right now? Because he wasn't out there a whole lot. He looked like he was engaged, but he wasn't out on the field.
So he was. He's a little bit limited from an injury, minor injury. He'll continue to work into the volume of the reps. I think he'll do hopefully a little bit more tomorrow, and then on as we progress, we'll continue. And we're counting on him to be a big contributor for us. And I think, again, he's a guy that They can play a couple different spots on the back end, which helps us out in a lot of ways. And a lot of it depends on how well we can, with those guys specifically, can we set edges? Can we fit the run with a field safety or a nickel or a boundary safety? What does that look like? So I think finding the right fit, number one, structurally on stopping the run, that's hugely important in those spots. We do have a number of bodies, but we're rotating those guys in a lot of different ways, because I don't want to ever be in a position that if we know that the number 2 receiver for the opponent we're about to play is their best player, and we better be able to put our best guy there coverage-wise. So we're also going to move those guys around quite a bit. We're also counting on that core group being leaders of our special teams group. You know, that's got to be an X factor for us. And we've got to be really, really good on special teams, and trying to get as much speed on the field as we can. And collectively, I think that the defensive back group gives us an opportunity to be a fast football team.